Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. Today I have the pleasure to show you how you can create a basic arranger using Mela. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Additionally, if you would like to support what I do, please do follow the instruction contained in each video description. Thank you again. So we are inside the UM and we are going to create first of all an audio channel, and we are going to call up for Mela. Okay, and there we are. Okay, perfect. So this is Mela loaded. So maximize the screen, and we are going to load the previous preset, which we have created in the series of tutorials. We are going to delete lane 2 and 3 like so. So we have a basic setup like so. Okay, and we are going to connect to it also my external MIDI controller so that I can play. There's a bit of clicking, so I add a little bit more attack, and that is perfect. As you can see, MIDI in module, MIDI-to-Poly, a VA oscillator, an amplitude envelope, and then a simple audio output. Simple as that. Okay, so we are going to use today an arpeggiator. So let's see how it works. So before MIDI-to-Poly, we click on the three dot, we select insert, and then we go to MIDI processor. Then we can choose Arpeggiator, and there it is. So now that I've done that, if I press AC on my external MIDI controller, it keeps repeating it, right? Because it's arpeggiating. Now you can select the gate here, how long the note is kept open. Okay, like so. Next, we can decide the sync to host to a quarter or to 1/8. We can also decide to adjust the offset, or as it is called here in the help, the arpeggio rate represented as a percentage of the sync parameter module. Okay, so to the left to slow it down, to the right to increase it. Double click to reset it 100%. Next, we can set it to many octaves you want it to go up. At the moment is 1, so I repeat the same note. If I select 2, it goes up 1 octave. Okay, perfect. Now, instead of pressing only a C note, we press a C, E, and a G, so a C major chord. And it will repeat those 3 notes starting from the bottom. It's going up because the mode here is set to going up, but you can set it to down. So it will drop down from a G, then an E, and then a C, right? So moving down. And you have a lot of different other options like up, down, for example. It's going up and then it's going to come down. So in this case, if I was to show you on the keyboard, it's going to use this note, this one, and then coming down like so, and then repeating like so. Okay. And if I set to 2 octave, it's going to go up and down the next octave. There is actually a nice way to show you how that the output of it. So if you create a MIDI channel, and if you have installed some tonality, you have access to grunt stuff. You connect grunt stuff as in the MIDI input to Mela like so, and then you ensure here on the right hand side that you add a signal router MIDI output because you want to send the MIDI output here. So now if I press the same major chord, you can see the note going up and down, okay, through 2 octave. Okay, that is nice and simple. Let's make these a little bit smaller, right? And you can, of course, change chords, and it is really, really nice. Okay, so let's open this up. Now, let's hide that AUM keyboard because we don't need it right now. And let's duplicate this lane. So we click here on the three dot and we select duplicate. Now we collapse this first lane and we focus on lane number 2. Okay, so what are we going to do on this lane? Well, first of all, we set this to go to the second output, and I will explain that later on why we are doing that. Next, what we're going to do, instead of choosing this mode, we're going to select chords. So we'll repeat actually all the chords. And we're going probably to select a different waveform like a triangle here. And let's listen. Now, to make it even more interesting, we go back to the first lane. Instead of up-down, we're going to select a random node. And instead of this sine waveform, a sawtooth. Adjust a bit the level here. Let's add another grand staff here, like so. Perfect, and let's connect it to Mela output 2. That is why I changed the MIDI output here on the second lane to output number 2. So if I open these up, now you should be able to see the chords here. Now they're going up or spread around 2 octaves. I can also have them down to an octave only. Really nice already, right? Okay, perfect. Now let's duplicate that lane again, and let's collapse lane 2, and let's focus on lane 3. Okay, we set these two up again. Okay, and then what we are going to do before MIDI-to-Poly, we are going to insert another module under MIDI processor, which is a transposer. And we are going to set this to transpose down by 12 semitones. Okay, and we're going to adjust the output now to output number 3. Okay, only 1 octave for now, and that's okay. We add another grand staff here to see what is actually happening, like so. We connect it to Mela output number 3. Okay, we open this up. And as you can hear, is like the basic of effectively a bass. And now to make it even more interesting, so here you have the melody, the chords, and a little bit of a bass, which is still arpeggiated. Okay, so that is why I lowered it by 12 semitones. Okay. Now, let's decrease the speed here, so perhaps to 1/4. Okay, and this is just, of course, a simple example of 3 practically lanes, 3 parts, a melody, chords, and something similar to what could look like a bass, although it's still very much arpeggiated, right? And we can make it even slower. And then what we are going to do, actually, we are going to close these, we're going to move these one probably here. We're going to double click here and add another module, another AUv3. We're going to go for chord, like so. Because it's very easy to create chords or sequences of chords using chord. And we set in the input of Mela chord 2. We open it up and we create a simple chord progression. C minor, E flat, major, F minor, G minor, something simple like that. So instead of me playing the chords, now chord will be playing the chords going into Mela, and then of course Mela will arpeggiate accordingly. Now, one thing that would be good to do is also to set a retrigger so that when the notes changes, it will be, the arpeggiator will be retrigger, and it's good to do it for all 3 lanes. So back at the beginning, play. So you ensure that sync between all the different lanes. Okay, this sounds already quite good, right? So now we can go even further. Let's open up and another audio channel, and let's search for hammerhead. Why not? You don't have to choose hammerhead, you can choose something else as well. But in this case, we connected to Mela output number 4. Okay, so in here we disable the sequencer and lower the volume a little bit. Okay, so we open Mela again, we close all these 3 lanes, and we add another one. In here we set first to capture the MIDI input, then to send them out as well, MIDI output on output number 4. Okay, so next what we are going to do, we are going to insert from MIDI processor a Euclid module, which we have seen in a previous tutorial. We're going to set it to play only 1 pulse every 4 steps. Okay, let's listen. Now, based on the notes which are being sent to Mela from chord 2, will play now different type of drum sound. So that's not what we want. So we click here on the 3 dot, we click insert, we go to MIDI processor, and we choose scale. Okay, and we are going to limit the scale only to C sharp, because I know that that note is what is used for a kick drum in a hammerhead. And we change the mode here from filter to nearest. So we'll scale to the nearest note, which in this case is only this one. So it's practically mandating that note to be played, okay? Now, it's not quite right yet because it depends on the register which octave is used. So we're going to add another module now as a MIDI processor, which will be a note range. Okay, so inside a note range, we're going to select, instead of filter transpose, because we ensure that it will transpose to the octave which I want to use. And I'm going to set the octave, setting the higher part to C3 and the lower part here to C2, okay? Because I know, and if you ask why do you know that, is because I tested it against the course hammerhead. Now you hear as well a kick drum, right, which is absolutely fantastic. Now we duplicate that lane again, we close this one, and in here we have 1 pulse again, but we are going to do it every 8, okay, and we are going to rotate it opposite, like so, opposite the pulse. The first pulse of the kick drum will be up here, opposite to that. And then we are going to scale it to these notes here, these notes here, D sharp, which should be a snare. So it is opposite here, because on this step up here, I will play the kick drum, halfway through will play then the snare, and it will give you that rhythm. And okay, and again, I know that D sharp is the note where the snare will end. Nice, isn't it? Right, and you can continue like that. So, for example, let's duplicate that lane again. You might be thinking, oh gosh, very complicated, but we're going for an F sharp here. Okay, we're going to decrease the step here to probably 4. Let's listen. Not quite right, and so we're going to lower here to C1 and C2 here. Okay, so it will constrain around that octave, so it should hit the hi-hat. Yeah, it's hitting the hi-hat, it's too slow, so we half that. So we'll do 1 pulse every 2 steps instead of 4. Perfect. So everything is in sync. Perhaps we lower a little bit the output there. Similar here for Mela, so we don't have picking on AUM. Back to the beginning, play. And of course, you don't have to use it with chord, but you can also use it yourself through an external controller. So it will work like so as well. So I'm just using an external controller now. And to prove the point that you can use it as an arranger as well, you don't need to use necessarily the sound engine inside the Mela. You could actually mute that. And now, for example, you could bring in Buzz Zone, why not, which is a fantastic synth connected to Mela. The first output where we have the melody, and let's go inside and choose a preset. Let's try that for now. Now we duplicate that channel again, like so. Perfect. We connect it to Mela output 2, where we have the chords. And so we're going probably now for keys, and we're going to use these plucky little so. Back beginning, play. Nice. Now we're going to duplicate that channel again. Perfect. And we're going to connect it to Mela output number 3, and in here if you remember, we have a bass. So let's click here and let's see if we can find a bass. In this case, it might be better not to lower the by 12 semitones. So we go to the third lane here and double click here, and we raise it up by an octave. And if you want to make it even nicer, you can go back to Mela, and here on the third lane where we have a bass after the transposer before the MIDI-to-Poly, we insert another MIDI processor, which will be a note echo, which will set it to repeat only once, which will mean we repeat the note only once. So if you look now, you have the melody here, which is played random arpeggio. You have the chords here, which are repeated. And then you have the bass here, which again is played by an arpeggiator, but is going so slow, which means it plays only one note per a bar. And then I inserted a note echo, which repeats effectively that note. So it gives you the illusion of having a bass, which is repeating itself. Okay, let's play again. And as you can hear, everything is in sync. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, perhaps a little bit longer, a little bit more complicated than the usual. But if you follow it through, you can create your own arranger using Mela. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.